If you're a woman over 35 and feel like nothing works for weight loss anymore, this video is for you. I've spent the last 10 years of my life as a professional nutritionist helping women lose that stubborn belly fat, balance their hormones naturally, and finally feel comfortable in their bodies again. And I'm about to break down the exact principles that has helped them lose 20, 50, 100 plus pounds of body fat without counting calories and without taking supplements, and without doing any crazy workout. Some of these lessons go completely against everything you've been told. So if you've been trying to lose weight for a while, but it feels like that weight is stuck on your body, I'm gonna explain why. Let's get into it. Lesson number one is that counting calories is a complete waste of time because it is not just calories in versus calories out for weight gain and weight loss. And I can prove it in under a minute. So if you were to drink a bottle of water, which is 16 ounces of water, this weighs 1 pound. If you were to get on the scale after drinking this bottle of water, this water, which is 0 calories, did not magically turn into 3,500 calories of body fat. Water, 0 calories. Fat, calories. These are not the same. So why are women constantly told it's calories in versus calories out for weight gain and weight loss? I have no idea. Because you already know this is true, because if you were to eat like a tiny little bit of food, it could be like 200 calories of something. And the next day, you are up 2 pounds. Do you think that tiny bit of food just magically turned into 2 pounds or 7,000 extra calories of body fat? That doesn't even make sense. Clearly, there's something else going on, and it is not just calories in versus calories out. And that brings me to lesson number 2. Inflammation and cellular fire is the #1 reason why women hit weight loss plateaus. It is not because they are not eating healthy. It is not because they're not exercising. It's because they have this inflammatory and cellular fire response to food. That's when that little bit of food turns into a lot of weight. You already know this is true because you've eaten healthy and exercised, and the next day you are up 2 pounds. It is even healthy food that can sometimes do this for women. So you need to focus on a more anti-inflammatory diet that takes care of that inflammation and gets rid of that cellular fire. Lesson number 3, women do not need protein to lose weight. So we've been hammered into our brains that you need to have protein for everything. Yes, protein is important if you're trying to optimize for getting bigger and smaller at the same time. As in, you're trying to build muscle, which is anabolic, and trying to lose fat, which is catabolic. So you're trying to be bigger and smaller at the same time. And if you can do both at the same time, that's great. But a really big but here. We don't live in this optimal world where it's super easy to track every piece of protein, track all of our macros, track all of our calories, and actually know definitively, are we doing the right exercise? Are we getting enough protein? Because protein does not break the laws of thermodynamics. Protein will not create that calorie deficit you need to lose body fat. Anti-obesity foods are gonna make it so much easier to lose weight than any piece of protein. In fact, protein shakes are actually the top cause for inflammation in women. And you know this is happening to you because after you drink that protein shake, you get big and bloated. That is inflammation inside of your gut microbiome. So if you are causing inflammation, it's like you're drinking the weight loss plateau. Cut that crap out of your diet if you're serious about losing body fat. Because if you take the natural approach, not only will you lose weight easier, you'll lose weight more sustainably, plus you don't have to eat all that processed crap the rest of your life. Lesson number 4 is that insulin matters a lot when it comes to women being able to lose weight and keep it off. So the only ones that say that insulin don't matter have never worked with a woman with insulin resistance. So when you were to eat a little bit of food, if you have insulin resistance, you don't release a little bit of insulin. You will release a lot of insulin. If you release a lot of insulin for a little bit of food, do you know what that does to your blood sugar? It causes a rapid crash in your blood sugar. If your blood sugar drops rapidly, even in a normal range, you feel like you're freaking starving. And do you know what you crave? It's not broccoli. You are craving everything in sight. You know this has happened to you because you can go all day without eating, but as soon as you start eating, you feel like you cannot stop. That is a hormonal and insulin issue. If you have your insulin levels out of whack, you aren't gonna be able to lose weight. You need to keep it in control. Lesson number 5, women should not be eating in moderation. Binge eating happens because of psychological and physiological responses to food. That means that you'll see a food, and what would normally be a stress reliever for other people, you're gonna see that junk food, and you think, I shouldn't eat that. And then you grab the food, and then you start eating, you say, I shouldn't be eating this. And then you swallow the food, you get big and bloated, and you think, I shouldn't have eaten that. And at no point do you feel any stress relief. That stress eating just led you to feeling like crap before, during, and after eating it. So why is that happening? It's because you're trying to do something that doesn't work for your hormones. If you are trying to eat in moderation, you are trying to fight your psychology. You are trying to fight your hormonal response. It is so much easier if you just focus on stuffing your face to the gills, to the point where you can't move, but you try to eat more anti-obesity foods. These are foods that women can eat, where the more of them they eat, the more body fat they lose. How cool is that? So always focus on the easy solution and not trying to fight your psychology or your hormones. Stick to those anti-obesity foods. And number 6 is that hormonal testing is a complete waste of money for most women. I actually paid $25,000 of my own money to learn from one of the top hormonal health testing agencies in the US. And what they taught me completely shifted my viewpoint on hormones forever. So they said, Abram, you should have your clients do hormonal testing because you're gonna find that some of your clients have their hormones that are way out of whack. And then what you should do is a natural hormone balancing protocol that'll help them get rid of that inflammation and get rid of that cellular fire. Then when they test their hormones again, they're gonna see that their hormones are more balanced and you can show that you know what you're talking about. I said, great. Then they also said, if you have your clients get their hormones tested and they come back normal, you're still gonna have them follow the exact same natural hormone balancing protocol. Why? Because hormone balance is completely individual to every single woman. You do not treat hormones, you treat symptoms. So you might get your hormones tested and they might come back normal, but you feel like garbage. That's because they might not be normal for you. Unless you've been getting your hormones tested periodically your entire life, you have no idea what normal is. Plus, it matters what phase of your cycle you're in. It depends on different aspects of your life. If you're in perimenopause or menopause, it really throws things out of whack. Basically, what they taught me is that, Abram, you should have your clients pay for this just to show that you know what you're talking about, not because it's gonna help your clients see better results. And I said, that's a complete waste of time. Like, I basically wasted my money. I guess I used my money because now you learned from me. But what you want to focus on is balancing your hormones naturally, no matter what that hormone test says. Because if you achieve better hormonal balance naturally, you are going to feel better balance for you specifically, and that's all that matters. Like, if you are a woman in perimenopause or menopause, your hormones are jacked up. You should be on a natural hormone balancing protocol that helps get rid of that cellular fire and inflammation naturally as soon as possible, because not only will you be able to lose the weight, you'll be able to keep it off the rest of your life. So those are the biggest lessons I've learned over the last 10 years as a professional nutritionist, helping women in perimenopause and menopause melt their body fat without counting calories. If even one of these lessons really hit home for you and you feel like you're ready to finally take that weight off once and for all, I might be able to help. Just go to the first link in the description and you are gonna see a video that explains a lot more about cellular fire, and you can apply to get a free assessment that you can take at home that'll help you determine what you should lose. And if this video is helpful, make sure you subscribe, because we got plenty more coming that's gonna help you feel strong, confident, and in control of your body again. Talk soon.